Today's video, we are going to talk about cart abandonment ads or cart abandonment strategy. I can't think of a single other thing that can give you 99+% of the time a return like this on a campaign you're running for an e-commerce business, okay? With that said, while everybody does cart abandonment strategies now for email, whether you automatically send an email, you're probably doing this already, automatically sending an email out to people who hit your cart and haven't purchased yet, almost nobody is talking about running ads to the same exact people, which is why it works so damn effectively. There's an old saying in advertising and marketing, if you want to extend it to that as well. Do what everybody else does, get everybody else's results. Do what nobody else is willing to do, assuming it's productive and the user finds it useful, you'll get abnormal returns. You need to stop looking what everybody else is doing if you want to make a pile of money online running ads. You look at what nobody else is willing to do, the consumer will appreciate, and you will get way higher than average returns, including 1000% ROI on a campaign like this and with other campaigns. You should watch my other videos if you want even more strategies. With that said, so what this is all about, it's like I was just indicating earlier, you have an ad that shows up for somebody if they hit the cart and they didn't purchase, okay? I can tell you for a fact up front, this is not fluff. If you are making any money with your cart abandonment ads that you have right now, or not ads, emails, sorry, they get fired out to your potential customers when they hit the cart and do not purchase. This ad strategy will get you 10 times more sales than you're already getting from that, at least. Why? Because not everybody sees their email. They get shit tons of spam email. Most emails they don't even open and read. And with that, your ad is guaranteed to basically be seen by the person. If not right away, within the next day or 2 or 3 or whatever. You can have an ad show up for somebody 100 times until they actually see it the one time. Why? Because it costs literally a penny to have an ad show up for somebody online, and 100 times is $100. That's roughly what it costs. So you can just follow them around with this cart abandonment strategy I'm sharing with you here that gives them the same kind of discount until they notice it and take advantage of it, guaranteeing virtually that they see it and actually consider doing it, versus the email, which there's like a 10% chance they're even opening the email and really considering it, realistically. Or less, because a lot of these emails are going to go to the promotions tab on Gmail. 70% of the users are using Gmail. And, and with that, not many people are seeing your emails anymore. And that's just why this strategy will get you 10 times more sales than what you're already getting through the email abandonment offer that you have now. And if you're willing to give 10, 15, 20% to people to finish their order on email, do it through your ads. You'll make 10 times more sales, if not 20, 30 times more sales, and you already are pulling in from that cart abandonment email already. As a side, quick side by the way, I have a comment to make before I give you the actual strategy here on cart abandonment emails. I actually don't even like those anymore. I run an ad agency here where we offer guaranteed PPC results to clients. We raise their sales before charging fees. We also invest in companies where, we'll essentially trade our services for 1 to 10% of your future sales growth and part of the ownership of the company. And with this, I don't even advocate at the companies that I have the power to say, yes, we're doing cart abandonment cart abandonment emails itself. Often I just say, let's not even do it. Why? Because people are trained to wait for the cart abandonment emails. It's gotten to the point so many people do cart abandonment emails because it's like built in within Shopify. Now you could do this automatically, and everybody's using Shopify. The customers literally just wait for an email to come in with a discount. They know it, they expect it. Discounts that people already know are coming don't generate more profit. because you're losing 10% of your sales volume on the people, on a large section of your sales that would have bought from you anyway. And that a lot of times is half of your margin. So you need to get a lot of sales you wouldn't have got otherwise to make up for that, halving of the margin you're going to get from people who are just trained to look for the email that would have bought anyway. Which, if you were smart, by the way, what you would do is you would not have that cart abandonment email go out until 7 days after, so that people that are doing that don't find what they're looking for and then end up just buying anyway. We're not talking about cart abandonment emails here. So with this cart abandonment ad strategy I'm showing you here, which anybody can set up, not only are you going to get at least 10 times more sales than you're going to get through the cart abandonment emails that you might be using, but it'll also be at 1,000% ROI or ROAS if you just know how to set it up. So just the fact that you know that you should run ads that you could essentially just take what you're saying through your cart abandonment emails, make it say that on your ad, and be running profitably just with that information alone. However, I'm not about just getting a little bit of profits. I want every damn little bit of profit I can get out of something if I can get it. That doesn't take too much time and effort to put together. So if you're going to do this smart, like I do here, you're going to run an ad like this in particular, and you can take it from me because I've tested many different types of these cart abandonment ads to find the most ideal way to do this. So you can use the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ad testing to your advantage here. So what you're going to actually show up for the user once they hit your cart and they haven't bought anything yet for a minimum period of time or maximum period of time, which I'm going to talk about next. But with that, simply all you're going to put, forget your order, ? If you want to go ahead and test forget your order in your shopping cart, you can do that. But with banner ads that are going to show up for the user on a bunch of different websites, which you can do that through running a Google Display Network ad. I also recommend running cart abandonment ads on Facebook as well to get the maximum out of this. You only have so much real estate on that ad, and there's a point where the text becomes so small they're just not going to ever read it, or not read it at near enough rate. So what ads that frankly work really well, our best producing ads, are not fancy graphic ads. They're where we have big, bold text and we have a really punchy headline. Don't buy a shaver until you read this. Or, like our own agency, guaranteed PPC results service. What can you say that can be summed up in a few words? Put that on an ad. You can literally have a white ad with black text, and as long as the message is right, that's going to clean up as compared to an ad that looks fancy, because first of all, it stands out, but second of all, it communicates a lot of information in a tight package really well. So forget your order with a picture of your logo on it, or what I recommend, that and a picture of the item that was in their cart. Communicates exactly what you need to get communicated in as quick and as efficient manner as possible. The quicker you can convey what you need to communicate to the user on your ads, the more sales you're going to make from it per time that the ad shows up. So that's what you're going for. So anyway, you say forget your order, use cart 10 or whatever discount code you have. I recommend using something called cart in it so that it is relevant to the offer, because codes that are relevant to the offer convert better. Use cart 10 for 10% off in the next 60 minutes. So this 60 minutes thing is a key part of this, because anytime in marketing and advertising you build urgency and perceived scarcity, you're going to increase your conversion rates. There's a lot of people I know would take offense to saying that we only have 2 left, but that kind of shit works. That's why you see it all the time. Similar to that is saying that this will only work for the next 60 minutes. Whether it does or doesn't is irrelevant. It's going to get you at least twice as many people clicking through this than they would have otherwise. Because what people do is they say, oh, that's nice, I'll come back and do it later. And later never comes, as we all know. But that's basically the premise right there. Very short, concise. ultimately, if you could show the product they were looking at, which all you got to do is create a separate audience for every product on your site so that the ad that you have for the person can show the product that they were looking at. That'll make your ad significantly more effective. And you got an extremely, extremely relevant, effective ad. When they see that ad, they're going to be thinking, holy shit, this ad is really relevant. You're telling me the product that I was just looking at and I didn't buy, you'll give me 10% off if I buy it within the next 60 minutes. I'm taking advantage of that. A big part of a lot of people who won't, the reason why they won't want to do this is because they're afraid that too many people that would have bought otherwise they're going to have to give 10% off to, or whatever. Which, by the way, 20% will get the biggest pull, even though 10% does pretty well in and itself. So you have to decide based upon your margins and all that what you want to do. Or you can do, even if you don't want to do 10% off, you could get 20 bucks off your order and go flat amount to make it still seem appealing. Because if you do 5%, nobody's going to give a shit. So if you have to go 5%, I'd recommend just doing a flat amount that they get $20, whatever. Because even sometimes we've like shown a $20 bill in that case on the ad, which is really effective because photographs of money affect people glandularly, actually, or checks and stuff like that. So anyway, with that said, if you don't want to offer 10% off and let all these people get an extra 10% off, you simply, like I was talking about before with the cart abandonment emails, just do a time delay on it. So only have this ad show up after they haven't checked out after 3 days. Because after 3 days, essentially, most of those people are not going to come back, if you will. A lot still will, but that's the kind of the point where because there's a lot of people that come back within 3 days, essentially, especially within 24 hours, that were doing some last minute price comparison and stuff like that. So if you have it show up after 3 days, virtually nobody that was going to buy anyway is going to buy as a result. That, in other words, hardly anybody that was going to buy anyway is going to be able to see your offer to get an extra 10% off. So, but that's the ad, okay? And as far as the targeting goes, you're going to do it between either 3, 6, 10, or 30 days from the time that they hit the cart to have this ad show up. You can add the 3-day delay at the beginning. If too many people are redeeming your offer, I would play it by ear. But for the most part, I would just have it show up immediately as soon as they hit the cart and abandon your site. If they leave your site and they end up on Facebook, 15 seconds later, it's there on Facebook. That's how you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck out of that, which all you got to do is just set up your campaign, and it should happen like that automatically. But the reason why I say 3, 6, 10, and 30 days here, because depending on what market and product you're talking about, the campaign will deliver 1,000% ROI over a longer time horizon. You may get 1,000% ROI on the 3-day time span, but not 6. Or 6, not 10, or 10, not 30. So your goal is to run it as long as you can so you get as many of these free extra sales as you're going to get, but not so long that you don't get the ROI that you want. And maybe you'll sell for a 500% ROAS, so you'll run it for 30 days and get more additional profit out of it than you would 10, given though that your ROI on the campaign, if you run it 30 days, is 500%, and it's 1,000% if you were to keep it to just 10 days. So I just recommend split testing it. Set up an audience for 3, 6, 10, and then 30. Set up separate ad groups for each one on Google Display Network and Facebook, and then ultimately just see what happens. What's the ROI for each one? To set this up, it's very simple. Anybody who hits the cart section of the website is on your remarketing list to do this, and then people who have hit the success page on your site are excluded. So you got a positive and a negative targeting option on your campaign. Must have got to cart, must not have purchased. That way when they purchase, it doesn't show up anymore. And it's really all there is to it. You follow this model, I guarantee you're going to get some great 1,000% ROIs for a certain minimum time frame. and a lot more if you're willing to settle for like 500% ROI. So that's pretty much it. As much as far as tweaks and like things to take this a little bit further that I can tell you. If you wanted to, I guess you could try a little bit with your offer on your ad to say, next 60 minutes for Valentine's Day or for St. Patrick's Day, so that the offer seems more exclusive. Anytime your offer seems more exclusive, more people are going to buy because it seems, because people, the 10% should be thought of as good or bad regardless. But if you say 10% for Valentine's Day, they're going to take it more seriously because they're not going to think that 10% is the usual. So it's going to build more urgency and perceived value for your 10% off. So you could try to experiment with that a little bit if you want. Problem is, it's a little hard to fit that into a banner ad. That's the type of thing you might be able to do more so on Facebook for yourself. But on Google Display Network, I recommend you run at least 7 different sizes of ads, if not 20. Why? Because this is so damn effective and so profitable. You want every possible sale you can get out of it, and therefore on a lot of sites, they don't have certain sizes of ads. So if you want to guarantee that they see this ad no matter what site they go to, then make it in like your ads in 20 different sizes. And that's why I also said do Facebook, because some people spend time on Facebook. They don't spend time on news sites. So that if you didn't have your Facebook cart abandonment remarketing campaign going, you wouldn't get in front of those people, and vice versa. So those are the main tips I could give you as it comes to this, okay? Run it as long as you can, get as much out of it as you can. Add more of the elements I told you there, you'll get more sales out of it. But there's absolutely no reason, if you're going to do a cart abandonment email, that you shouldn't be doing this, because you're going to get at least 10 times more sales out of that cart abandonment offer you came up with doing the ad campaign to match it. And furthermore, to be honest with you, and if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I say that anything that you're doing in email, it'll work 10 times better in an ad. In other words, if you're targeting people that are already customers through an email that generates XYZ amount of sales, you work that same, whatever you're saying in an email into an ad to target the same people, you'll get 10 times more out of whatever that offer was in that email that you sent them. Why? For the same reasons I said before about it being guaranteed to be seen, because you could run the ads everywhere online essentially. They're going to end up seeing it one way or another. Versus an email, it gets buried in all the other junk mail, and they most of the time don't see it. And the average email only gets opened 20% of the time, or roughly thereof. Then of the ones that open it, and that's also on the high side. That's if you get into the primary tab instead of the promotions tab. If you get in the promotions tab, it might be 10%. Then the people that open it, how many people aren't going to read the whole thing you said? So if you aren't concise, now you're going to even less people to consider your offer itself. So you get what I'm saying here. Email is a great tool. It's free extra money. You do email. In fact, people don't do email enough. I'm one of the very few people who use email the way that you should use email, which is you create, once you have somebody interested in your product or service, you send them information about how to be, and just be helpful through your email to the customer, buy whatever it is that you sell. If you sell work boots, you need to send them emails once a week explaining what's the difference between a good and a bad work boot. And if that gets a little tiring, then you start talking about, ultimately, if most of your customers work construction, then you start talking about trends in the construction industry. You're throwing free money away on your ad campaigns that you're running if you don't use email appropriately. And most people, the only thing they do with the email is they send them a thing that says we have a new product once in a while, which isn't terrible, but there's 100 times more value by writing a really good, valuable email for them and then just sending in those once a week so they actually like the email that you send them, so that when you and every 7 to 10 emails, you say you have a new product offered. Because you'll get some sales off of every 7th to 10th email. And of course, since you only have to write one email for everybody who's ever bought from you, the ROI on that activity keeps going up higher and higher and higher over time. Really what it does, just like the cart abandonment thing I'm talking about here, it gives you more lifetime value from a customer or a lead than you had before, so you could do more to dump in more paid traffic to your site. If you do enough to convert the lead and get to sell more to that customer, if it's possible, the more you could spend to get a customer in the first place. The more you could spend to get people to your site in the first place. If you are efficient enough, you could pay more than all the other people in your space, and you could hog all the customers from everybody else, essentially, on Google search. You can afford to run your ads the most, you get most of the customers. It's really just a battle between you and the competition to see who can get the most out of a click. Well, you don't even have to compete on that level anymore if you could just get more out of the conversion rate, obviously, by doing all this other stuff, so that you could afford to pay twice as much as anybody else because you've done these other things. I'm getting a bit off track here, but anyway, I just thought I would throw that extra information in there. This is stuff I see people neglecting all the time. If you want a good example of an email sequence, you can go ahead and contact my agency and see what I send you. And furthermore, the remarketing ads that I have, you'll see the ads that just after being my site, what I have. I don't do 1 or 2 ads, I do 30 ads. And going over, and a lot of it is just sending people the content that's helpful to learn how to make money with PPC. Building up value from the leads I got. So I get 10 times more value out of a lead than the average person gets. Something e-commerce players need to do, but don't do. So anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. Ask me any ad-related question you'd like. I'd be more than happy to try to set the story straight and get you on the right track again just for watching my channel. And this channel is the best channel I promise you're going to be able to find and make money with online ads for your business. Because I just do ad strategy all day long, and I don't sell people crappy courses or make money solely off YouTube. It's information we use to guarantee our clients results, and the stuff that works I give to you straight on this channel. So therefore you should subscribe to it. Furthermore, I also have a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog where you can also find advice from myself, as well as I have a column on entrepreneur.com if you want to follow me there. If you are looking for an ad manager now or in the future, we offer a guaranteed service, as I mentioned before, in that we don't charge fees to our clients up front until we get you a certain minimum amount of sales or increase in leads, typically off your same ad spend. If you want to see if we can work together, reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'll be happy to see if we can. Beyond that, we also sell ad templates as well. So if we've worked in your market, you don't want to work with an ad manager, but you want to shortcut your way to success, why not just use the ads and landing pages and everything that we use for your industry to get results, and are using to get results in your account. We sell those templates, those funnel templates, for a one-time fee, and you can use them for yourself. People are using these to start side businesses that are so effective. And how else to start a business from using the winning ad campaign for that market that already works? Beyond that, a couple more things to mention really quickly. If you're looking for an ad agency but can't afford one, if you are willing to let us share your results on this channel, we are willing to work on your campaigns for free. We got people asking, Corey, why don't you share practical information about your campaigns and strategies? The reality is nobody wants to share the results, and for good reason. It would make most of the results ineffective once everybody started using their strategy. However, if you are wanting to man up, or woman up if you will, and let us show the stuff what we tell you guys to use here on this channel on your campaign and then broadcast that on our channel, we're willing to come halfway and not charge you anything for it. So you can also reach out to me if you're interested in that, as well as if you are looking for an investor, where we also are investing in companies where we don't charge our clients management fees to manage their ads, but we'll take a percentage of your sales growth in the future, and then in exchange for 1 to 10% of your company, and we'll work with several companies along those lines and doing very well with those companies. So anyway, some different opportunities for you to work with us in one shape or form. reach out to me at Guarantee PPC if you're interested in any of it. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.